Hey everybody, I hope everybody's having a great night on this Friday night. I just want to spend some time to kind of share some of my personal goals that relates to personal finance and really to everybody out there. And then kind of talk about where it stems from and kind of give you a gem on something I think that can benefit you right away. For most of you that know me personally know that I grew up in poverty. I grew up with no information about financial literacy. I had no idea about like debt. I could remember my first credit card, which was in college. It was a Discover card I got for signing up when I walked into Mr. Gaddy's. They let me into Mr. Gaddy's free if I sign up for a credit card, and that's how they stuck me. And I really didn't have any information, and so over the course of the years, just trials and tribulations and reading and just trying to acquire information, I've learned a ton, and I'm in a position where I truly want to share that information because it's really important for me to not only help people grow wealth and to be more financially secure, but it's extremely important to me that I support, the community of San Antonio and support the people that in the communities that I grew up from and people who I grew up with, and kind of share some of the information so that they don't have to necessarily run into some of the same hurdles or roadblocks that I did growing up and find out the hard way. It's always best if you can learn from somebody else and their decisions versus having to go through some of the things yourself personally, and that's why I like to share some information with you. So back to one of my goals. My main goal is, by 2023, I really want to ensure that I can help support at least 1,000 families in some type of way in terms of like helping them secure financial freedom. And so what I mean by that, I mean really educate 1,000 families to the point where they're not just educated, but they change their behaviors, their lifestyle, their understanding of money, and they'll be able to live a lifestyle that's financial secure. And if I can make an impact on 1,000 families, that's something that will be extremely proud for me. And I think that's something that can go and transpire to something larger, because eventually I do think, once you share information and help people grow, they tend to share that information to help others grow, and hopefully it can be a trickle-down effect as well. So we all know that COVID really stuck everybody pretty hard this past 4 or 5 months. There's a lot of people were laid off, a lot of people lost their job, they've had hours cut back, or they've had a transition to other fields, and it's been tough for a lot of people, right? And something that I started a while back, and something I learned a long time ago from a book called Automatic Millionaire by David Bach, is that you truly have to make your savings automatic, right? You have to tax yourself. You have to have a self-imposed tax, right? And what that is that when you get a paycheck, before it hits your account, right, you have it route a certain amount of money route straight to an account that you really don't have access to, right? You may have access online to be able to check the statements to see, how much money is growing in there. But as far as swiping that card or using it for Amazon, you don't have access to it, right? That money is that's your emergencies fund, right? And if you did something as low as $60 out of a paycheck, right, you tax yourself. I call it a self-imposed tax. You tax yourself, and that $60 goes to that account. Over a year, you'll have about $1,500. And while that may not seem like a lot, that's $1,500 you may not have today, right? And if you do that consistently over a few years, and as you acquire more income, you add more money into it, let's say maybe a tax return or maybe bonuses, a portion of your bonus, and you just keep piling on, that's going to be your insurance policy to help yourself out whenever situations like this occur, like this COVID situation. Now, COVID's random, out of the blue situation that we couldn't predict, but we know in life, we're always going to have surprises and issues, and that's just how life is, right? And so if you make your savings, right, and I'm talking about not just like your savings account, this is like a separate account that specifically you don't have access to. You make that automatic, you put it away. That's going to really help you in times of need and some hardship, or, whether that's to cover your mortgage, cover your car payment, or help you put yourself in a better position later on in life if there's something that you want to invest that money in when you really need some capital. So one of the first steps for me that I want to share is that you have to make your stuff automatic. You have to create a self-imposed tax, right, where you get money pulled out automatically. What that does, it stops the procrastination, it stops the reasons, and it stops the emotion from it, and that money goes away and you don't touch it. Again, I'm going to share a lot of different information with you. This is just one small thing, but I want all my people of San Antonio. I really want us to move forward. I want us to be financially secure. I want us to have some freedom, and I really want us to enjoy the opportunity we have here in America and in this great city of San Antonio. Feel free to drop in my DMs, ask me any questions. I'll be glad to support y'all and help y'all out. Y'all have a great evening.